Dota is a genuinely complicated game. It has its own in-game tutorial, its own skill tiers, an entire glossary you can go read if you actually want to understand every term being thrown around. But none of that covers what we're talking about today. These 20 rules were never taught anywhere. Not in the tutorial, not in any glossary. They just started somewhere a long time ago by someone, for some reason nobody remembers anymore, turned into a habit, and got passed down from player to player until everyone simply knew them. Today, we're finally writing all 20 of them down. Well, 20 that I know anyway. Rule 1. Don't take a hero someone is already looking at. Here's the part that makes this so much worse than it sounds. Your team can actually see when someone's considering a hero before it's even locked in. So when someone snakes it anyway, there's no ambiguity, no benefit of the doubt, no I didn't know. Everyone watched it happen in real time. It is, structurally, the single most provable crime on this entire list. And that has never once stopped anyone from committing it. Worth remembering, though. The teammate you took it from has every right to despise you for it, and probably will. Do it at the wrong moment, and don't be surprised when that same teammate quietly checks out and throws the rest of the game out of pure spite. So maybe don't.
Rule 2. This one mostly governs pubs and turbo. Competitive and higher-level ranked play operates under slightly more rational rules, but the unranked masses have never once cared about that distinction. Never ban Pudge. And if Pudge isn't banned, you must pick him. This isn't strategy. This is closer to a religious obligation. An unbanned Pudge sitting untouched in the hero grid is treated the way an unattended dog treats an open gate. Somebody is taking that hook. It might not be a good idea. It has never once been a good idea. It is happening anyway. Rule 3. Use the roll command to settle contested roles. This is, without exaggeration, the single most legally binding contract in the entire game. Actual signed paperwork carries less weight than a roll result. Lose the roll, and the only acceptable response is to accept your fate immediately, silently, professionally. And if that roll then goes poorly, feeding, underperforming, whatever it is, the loser of the roll gets blamed for it anyway, regardless of whether the roll was actually the problem. That's also, apparently, part of the ritual. Rule 4. Save one starting observer ward for your mid laner. Nobody asked for this rule. Nobody remembers agreeing to it. And this isn't some ranked-only formality either. It happens in pubs, in turbo, everywhere, across every server, every rank, every single day. Supports quietly set aside one ward specifically for the one teammate who is, structurally speaking, playing his own separate game in the middle of the map. Main character energy, subsidized by everyone else's inventory space. Rule 5. Sentry before observer. This one's actually correct, mechanically, not just socially. Place the sentry first, and you clear out any enemy wards already watching that spot before you drop your own vision there. Do it backward, place the observer first, and you've just announced your ward's exact location to anyone whose vision was already sitting on that spot, undoing the entire point of warding in the first place. Try explaining that order to someone who does it backward, though, and watch how quickly a mechanical explanation turns into a moral one. Rule 6. Always carry a town portal scroll, ideally 2. This isn't really about your own death anxiety, it's logistics. A spare TP means you can actually respond when 2 other lanes are getting ganked at the same time, instead of watching it happen helplessly from across the map. Better to have it and not need it, than to need it and watch your team die without you. Stick around, by the way, because Rule 10 is the one I genuinely cannot talk about without lowering my voice. And Rule 15 is the one that's actually, personally, about me. We'll get there.
Rule 7. Don't kill the ranged creep that Lion is draining mana from. Normally it's a carry who does this, snatching the last hit without thinking. Supports usually know better than to touch it. Realistically, it's usually just Lion and whoever took the creep who even notice it happened. The rest of the lobby has no idea. But give them that respect anyway. And while we're on the subject, supports could honestly use a little more of that same consideration from their teammates in general, not just here. Rule 8. When dying, cast everything. Every spell you get off before you die can still help your team win that fight. If your team wins because of it, your death was a good trade, even though you didn't survive to see it. Rule 9. Never fight or push while the enemy holds high ground and you don't have vision to back you up. Whoever holds the high ground with vision wins the fight before it even starts. And if you don't believe that, this is true, you can ask Obi-Wan or Anakin Skywalker about it. Rule 10. Never admit that you pressed glyph. Nobody usually asks permission before pressing fortification, especially late game. But if you do press it, because you genuinely thought it was the right moment, here's the actual protocol. The second it goes off, your teammates will immediately ask who pressed it and why. You say nothing. They will never know. In fact, the correct advanced move is to ask the exact same question right back at them. Yeah, who pressed glyph? As if you too are simply a concerned bystander. Rule 11. Tip a player who made a good play. Or, alternatively, if you need to talk trash. Worth being specific about the first half of that, though. This is one of the only real ways to recognize a support who just saved your life with a well-timed Force Staff or Glimmer Cape. And supports get thanked so rarely that a single tip probably means more to them than the kill itself did. Use the other way on an enemy. It becomes something else entirely. A small, deliberate way of making sure someone knows exactly how unimpressed you are, timed to land at the worst possible moment for their ego. Rule 12. If you have to pause, disconnect first. Don't just hit pause and walk away. An actual disconnect locks the game down in a way a simple pause doesn't protect as well, especially once the enemy team starts repeatedly force unpausing. Do that enough times and your team just runs out of pauses entirely, stuck with no protection left for the moment you actually need it. The order matters. Do it backward and you've left a door open you didn't mean to leave open. Rule 13. Never deny your own Tier 3 tower. This isn't actually about gold. That's not the real point. Tier 3 is your last real defensive structure before the fight reaches your ancient directly. Lose it, and enemy creep waves start reaching your barracks completely unopposed, and enemy heroes get a clean, unobstructed path in. It's not just a building at that point, it's the last wall between you and the loss screen, and taking it down yourself early is treated exactly as seriously as that sounds. Rule 14. You should never sleep after a loss. Play until you win. I'll be honest, I genuinely don't know how other people manage to fall asleep after a bad loss, because I've never once been able to do it myself. So if you're hearing this and your friends just lost and they're asking for one more game to end the night on a win, do everyone a favor and don't leave them hanging. You already know exactly what that feeling is. And Rule 15. Type GGEZ the moment the Ancient is about to die. Doesn't matter if the game ran 2 full hours. Doesn't matter if it was, genuinely, the hardest match you've played in your entire life. You type it anyway, and you watch the enemy respond 4 seconds too late, furious, already composing a message about hunting down your entire extended family. And the best part is that it doesn't even end when the game does. That tilt follows them directly into their next match, which, respectfully, isn't your problem anymore. Rule 16. When every single enemy hero is dead, push. Nobody cares about your health bar in this specific moment because there is, definitionally, no one left alive to punish you for it. Going back to base to heal or sneaking off to farm the jungle instead of taking the lane sitting wide open in front of you is one of the more quietly infuriating things you can do to a team that just won a fight. Supports can still ward, that's fine, that's allowed. Rule 17. Respect farming cores. If you're support and you see your carry or mid quietly working through a jungle stack, that farm is not yours to interrupt. Walking in and taking a last hit that wasn't meant for you doesn't help the team. It just quietly steals momentum from the one player whose entire job this match is to eventually carry the rest of you. Rule 18. Pick in the correct order, especially in ranked. Supports first, then offlane, then cores. Saved for last. The logic isn't complicated. Whoever locks in first is the one the enemy gets to plan around and counterpick. Reveal your flexible, replaceable picks early and protect your actual win condition until the enemy is already committed. Do it backward, and you've just handed them a free scouting report on the one hero your whole game plan depends on. Rule 19. Don't experiment in ranked.
Save the curiosity for pubs or turbo where the stakes are functionally zero. Ranked is not the place to learn a brand new hero or try a build you saw once and can't fully remember, while 4 other people's climb depends on you knowing what you're doing. Going in blind isn't just risky for you, it's a decision you're making on behalf of 4 strangers who didn't get a vote in it.
Rule 20. Don't steal a rampage. If a teammate already has an ultra kill and there's 1 enemy left standing, for the love of everything, let them have it. You know exactly when your spell would finish the job. Yes, occasionally it happens by pure accident, a stray hit that lands before you can stop it. 20 rules, no official document, and somehow everyone already knew most of them before I said a single word. Nobody wrote this constitution. Everybody's still following it anyway. If I missed one, and I probably did, let me know in the comments. See you next time.